Yes. Y'all want to hear what's funny? Every time Terence Bud Crawford does an interview, you know what movie it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene in Menace to Society where the interrogator, the detective, was asking Kane questions in an interrogation room. Y'all remember that scene?
You bought the bottle of beer about 11:15?
Yeah, I bought the beer and I accidentally dropped it.
You bought the bottle of beer at 11:15?
At 11, yeah, at 11:15, 11:15.
Then why wasn't the bottle cleaned up? Why did we find it still there, spilled on the floor after the shoot?
After we was leaving, after I left, other people was coming in. When we was leaving.
But you don't remember what they.
But they looked.
But you bought the bottle of beer definitely at 12:15.
Yeah, it was 12:15. Exactly. If I'm not mistaken, it was.
Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up. You know that, don't you?
I
see what I'm saying?
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
The more questions that cop asked, the more I thought I wasn't gonna never see daylight again.
And this time you said you bought the bottle of beer.
I was just waiting for them to tell me they seen that damn videotape, but they hadn't.
No, you done fucked up, don't you? No, you don't. No, you done fucked up.
Without the tape, they had nothing.
Y'all see that, right? That last thing that Kane said in that movie, in that scene right there, he said, without the tape, they had nothing. In other words, he knew he was lying and insulting the intelligence of the interviewer who was listening, that interrogator, that detective. Well, just like Bud Crawford is basically insulting the intelligence of interviewers and even the fans. But here's the difference between Kane and Bud Crawford. We got the tape. But before I show the tape, I want to go back and show the fans what Bud Crawford said on his Instagram live post when he was talking about Boot's name and Virgil Ortiz's name not coming up. Roll the tape.
Just saying, but like when you look at it, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why you didn't fight Boots or why you didn't fight Ortiz?" Well, them names that never came up. I would have fought them names in a heartbeat.
Y'all just heard what Bud Crawford said. Terence Bud Crawford just said that when it came to Virgil Ortiz, his name never came up. He would have fought him in a heartbeat. Well, we found the tape where Virgil Ortiz's name came up, not once, but twice. In this interview, when Maurice Hooker was fighting Virgil Ortiz, guess what happened? Before the fight, the interviewer interviewed Terence Bud Crawford. And this happened on March 20th, 2021. And let's roll the tape back where the interviewer asked Terence Bud Crawford about fighting Virgil Ortiz.
You believe in Maurice Hooker, no question, but if Virgil Ortiz comes out victorious, we're going to hear your name come up a lot as a prospective opponent. How do you feel about a potential matchup with Virgil Ortiz?
I just laugh at it, you know. Right now I'm on bigger and better things, you know. Who knows what the future may hold. Maybe me and Virgil may get it on, you know, if he wins, but, you know, that's a little premature to say. I know everybody banking him to win, but I got my dollars on most.
See? That's the first time Virgil Ortiz's name came up. So we see that Terence Bud Crawford was not being honest. He was not being transparent. He wasn't maintaining integrity when he was asked about Boots and Virgil Ortiz, and he said their names never came up, quote unquote. But y'all see that Virgil Ortiz's name actually did come up. In fact, he said if Virgil Ortiz wins against Maurice Hooker, who he was there to support. Now, didn't Virgil Ortiz Jr. win against Maurice Hooker that night? You guessed it. Yes, he did. But it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury. Virgil Ortiz's name came up again, a second time. Only this time it was a little over a year later, more recently, as in August the 3rd, 2022, a couple of months ago. And let's hear how the interviewer asked Terence Bud Crawford about fighting Virgil Ortiz if the negotiations between him and Errol Spence break down. Roll the tape.
Virgil Ortiz is fighting this weekend, headlining at home. He called you out after the last fight. You were there. We talked to you after the fight. If for some reason the Spence fight falls through, would you fight him?
Of course. Why wouldn't?
What do you think of him?
Oh, Virgil, great talent. Like I said before, you know, he's very strong. He hits hard. You know, he's technically sound. You know, and you know, it's gonna take a guy like me to beat him.
See what I was trying to tell y'all? Y'all heard what he said when the interviewer asked him that question. He answered, and I quote, "Of course." Of course, said it twice. He said, of course, 2 times, that he would fight Virgil Ortiz. He even gave Virgil Ortiz his flowers. He complimented Virgil Ortiz in that interview that y'all just heard him. He said, Virgil's a great talent. He's very strong. He hits hard. He's technically sound. It's going to take a guy like me to beat him. That's what Terence Bud Crawford just said. Question, didn't the negotiations between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence break down? You guessed it, they sure did. And because they did, we should get the fight between Terence Bud Crawford and Virgil Ortiz Jr. according to what Terence Bud Crawford himself agreed to. But instead, we're not getting a fight between Terence Bud Crawford and Virgil Ortiz, based on what Terence Bud Crawford said himself in an interview a few months ago in August, that if those negotiations between him and Spence break down, that he would fight Virgil Ortiz. And then in the beginning of this video, you've heard him say those names never came up and he would fight them in a heartbeat. Well, there's been a lot of heartbeats and people still walking around here breathing. I want to leave Terence Bud Crawford and all of my subscribers and all of my viewers with a replay of this scene from menace to society.
But you don't remember what they
look.
But you bought the bottle of beer, definitely, at 12:15.
Yeah, it was 12:15 exactly. If I'm not mistaken, it was.
Now you see something. Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought.
So, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?